Well, welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So, y'all, I'm back, sort of. So, I hope you will excuse the time off that I have taken and may have to continue to take. Um, First of all, for those of you who are new, welcome. So glad you're here. Y'all, we've gained about 35 subscribers since we hit 4,000. So, thank you for my returning for being such faithful watchers and sharers of my channel. I do very much appreciate it. So, for those of you who are new, let me just share that my mom will be 88 in August, has had a series of changes in her health and in her mental capacity due to dementia. And let's see, on my birthday, in March, she fell and fractured her hip, subsequently went from an assisted living facility to a rehab facility, did not make progress on therapy, is not recovering, as many of us wouldn't at her age and level of additional health problems. So I made the decision, and Friday she went on hospice. And I want to remind you all, and I did a whole live about it, but hospice does not mean someone is imminently dying. It can mean that, but that is not my mom's case. Now, the Lord could choose to take her home at any moment, and I understand that. But mom's need for hospice revolves more around physical comfort and me stopping to push her to do 3 therapies a day, 6 days a week, and letting her choose how she wants to live out the end of her life with some dignity and some pain relief. And there's nothing wrong with that. What I will say is hospice has been wonderful. They just call a lot, y'all. So if you're wondering why I kind of look a little off, eyes look a little swollen, we've had crazy weather here in Ohio. I do have some seasonal allergies, but guys, I am worn down. And I thought, you know what? Instead of me trying to go crazy, because I have to leave here at 9 o'clock, and it's 6:30 right now, or almost, and I have some things I want to do. Let me sit down and just chat with y'all. Now, you guys, I'm not going to tell you, I have handled this beautifully and you should try to live like me. Because let me tell you something, I crashed and burned, not once, but twice through this whole thing. I do have some chronic health issues, and they will rear their ugly heads when I'm under stress. So I sat down this morning and I wrote 7 things. 7 happens to be my lucky number, just saying. 7 things that I thought, if maybe one of you are having trouble with stress or some big life challenges that come up for all of us. It doesn't mean you've got a parent in hospice. You can still have stress over so many areas of your life. I want to give you some things that have been helping me along, even though I look so tired. I hope you'll stay tuned, and I hope this will be helpful for you. All right, take 3. I keep having little bumps in the road here. I got distracted, then I showed my address, not even thinking. So at any rate, let's get started on the 7 things that I have found over crashing and burning for the last month and a half have really helped me out. And I hope that maybe you'll find it beneficial as well. So the first thing is, don't neglect your faith. If your faith, and I don't know whether to call it a religion or your spirituality, is an integral part of your daily life, don't neglect it, guys. I fully admit that I've been like, I am too busy to do my devotions for the day. I'll catch up on my Bible reading tomorrow. I'm doing this little project of reading the Bible through in a year. Do what you can do, but don't totally step away from your faith, because that is a feeling of loneliness like I think never before. So I did want to share, this is the In Touch magazine. I will not turn it around and show you my address. You can go online. Pardon me, I think it's intouch.org, honestly. Of course it doesn't say. Wait. Nope. At any rate, this is a free subscription. And what it is it's a 30-day or 31, however many days in a month, but it has a daily devotion. Usually has a story in the middle. They're short. It gives you scripture to read as well. And then if you want to do a corresponding Bible in a year reading, it's down here below. Dr. Charles Stanley just passed away, and he was, I believe, 90. Don't quote me on that. But so far as I know his son is also a minister, and that will continue on. But, if you can't go to physical church, or you're not a person who goes to a physical church, maybe you do home worship or group worship with other believers, I understand what it's like to be unable to go because you just have all these other obligations and crises coming up. But guys, there's a lot of great podcasts. And let me tell you, YouTube has a lot of good sermons too. So I hope that you will take that into consideration. While it doesn't have to be, oh, I have another thing to do, it can be so worth your time, so uplifting. I don't know where I would be without my faith right now. Probably crying more than I already have. All right. Number 2, my biggest fault, just going to tell y'all how it is. Don't be afraid to ask for and accept help. So I have a very difficult time. I can do everything myself. I don't need anybody. I have a very difficult time feeling like I'm imposing on someone to help me do something. But I have a very dear friend that bailed me out of an extreme need this week. Danette, you know who you are, and I thank you so much, and I don't want to start crying this early in the video. But not only do I have a hard time asking for help, sometimes I have people offer help, and then I'm just like, no, I'm good, when I'm really not good. And y'all, if you are a carer type person, you know what it feels like to do something good for someone else. Don't take somebody else's joy away. If you can use the help, accept it. Whether it's running to the grocery store, praying with or for you, whatever other needs that you might have, depending on your particular situation, it's okay. It's really okay. And that's been a hard one for me. All right, number 3, the practical Kym. And I apologize, guys, about my allergies. Good grief. I have been having a lot of trouble sleeping. Imagine that, because I don't sleep anyway. One of the best things I have ever found is to do a brain dump. Get it out of your head, get it on a piece of paper, organize it in categories, and I'm not done, but I've got my outside list, and I've just started my inside list this morning. It at least will help you stop going over and over. I don't want to forget to do this. I don't want to forget to do that. I also use a planner, but there is something to be said for this brain dump, and it's extremely satisfying when you can start checking those things off. And this may not be a season in life where you can, for example, change all your decor over to summer and move out the bed and dressers and sweep behind them. We had a little issue with Mr. Frankie yesterday. I don't know who we is. I guess it's me. Frankie has always been enamored with TV changers. And even when he was a little feller, he would get him. And I used to have cable, so you've got those ginormous ones that you can't really lose in a chair or whatever. But upstairs, I have a very small smart TV, and I like to watch YouTube in the evening when I'm trying to get sleepy and go to bed and go to sleep. Well, the remote is very small, and I literally tore that bedroom apart because he made off with it. He made off with one earring, which I did find, and the TV changer. He's long since been a earring stealer and a ring stealer as well. But at any rate, I have sort of a crushed velvet footer, if you will, on my bed. I don't know what you would call it. It's an additional blanket, and he loves to put his feet under it because it's silky on the back. He's not spoiled or anything. So he had pushed it way under there. So I did actually find it. But in my whole tearing the room up, trying to find it, I'm like, how long has it been since I've really, pulled everything out and swept really good? So, no, am I going to die if I don't get that done? No. But it does get it off of my mind onto a piece of paper where I can schedule it out, maybe not even this month, hopefully yet this year, and stop obsessing over it. That, oh, I need to do this and I'm afraid I'm going to do that. that really works for me. I hope that's helpful for you. The first time I heard of that concept, I'm like, well, that's just going to be an overwhelming list of things to do. But in reality, it has not felt that way for me. All right, number 4. Let me get a little sippy sip here. My sippy cup is in the wash, so I'm having to use this ginormous one. Use the 3 priorities principle. So on days where you're extremely overwhelmed, maybe you feel anxious, maybe you feel down or depressed, if you take your brain dump and try to put a quarter of it on your to-do list, it's going to be, it very well may be overwhelming for you. So I have long used 3 priorities because of YouTube, because of my mom and my obligations with her, and because I have animals and a hobby homestead, I guess you would call it. So sometimes my priorities look like this: take care of the chickens, water the seedlings, and make a YouTube video. And that may be all that I can really accomplish that day. But knowing you've checked off your priorities, make them realistic, can at least make you feel like you're moving through it and moving forward. Now, has my house suffered because I've been so busy? Oh my word, yes. I'm not messy, but things get dirty. I have a cat that sheds a lot, and I'm in and out, and I do track in dirt and grass and chicken bedding and things like that. So yeah, my house is in need of a really, really good, like, 2-day cleaning marathon. But right now, I can't do that, but I can do my 3 priorities. Number 5, not good at this either, but y'all take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you cannot be there for others or be there for whatever situation you're going through. Do your best to eat well. Do your best to sleep. And I would also say, don't be afraid to contact your physician if you're having enough stress that it's really altering your life. Try not to make any big changes in your medication, like I did, and crash and burn, because it can really affect you. So kind of status quo as far as, what you do day to day for your health as best you can. But do take care of yourself. Give yourself a little self-care, take a bubble bath, paint your nails, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Try to carve out some time periodically to do that. It just helps you feel like life isn't a whole big shipwreck, for sure. Number 6, remember you aren't perfect. No one expects you to be able to do everything. I expect myself to be able to do everything, but people around me aren't expecting that. And you all gave me so much grace. Take care of yourself first. We'll be here when you get back. Take care of your mom. Don't worry about it. And I want to be the one that does all the things. But the fact of the matter is, guys, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not even 30, 40, 50, or 60. I'm 62. And I have noticed with getting older, I just don't have the energy level that I used to do. I can't go from dawn to dusk physically working hard anymore. I just can't do it. I have to take more breaks, etc., etc. So I would say give yourself grace. And remember, no one's perfect. Do the best you can. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Take care of yourself. And then number 7, guys, do not make extreme life decisions or changes when you are in the midst of a crisis, because I think thinking about it is a very good thing. All of a sudden deciding, well, I'm not going to do YouTube anymore because it's just too much work and I got too much to do with my mom. When the reality is, I love my YouTube friends and family. I love doing this. It brings me great joy. It keeps me motivated. I have met so many lovely people that will be lifelong friends because of YouTube. So I almost made the decision, and I've alluded to this before, that I'm just going to quit doing YouTube because I can't do all this, right? I can get through my priorities. I can take better care of myself, and I'm not going to change anything. And I don't think I ever will change my decision, you know, on YouTube. There may be times, guys, I have to take breaks. Um, just day to day, it's, I hate to call it this, but it's kind of a crapshoot with my mom. Um, Now, last night, I only had one phone call. The night before, I had 5. The night before, I had 4 during the night. Because by law, guys, by regulation, hospice has regulations, the assisted living has regulations. They must notify the power of attorney for healthcare of any changes, whether it's we're going to give her 2 Tylenol a day instead of 1 Tylenol a day, they're going to call you. Unfortunately, they have a tendency to do it at night, I think because things get calmer. So I'm getting double calls, both from hospice and from the facility, but I understand the reason behind it. I am trying to let them go to voicemail and then check the voicemail, but that gives me anxiety, so it's probably better I just get up and answer the phone, because then I'm waiting for the voicemail to come through, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that's a lot, right? So today, I did want to update you on my situation with the garden too, guys. Our frost-free date here was April 25th. We've had 2 hard freezes since then. I'm so glad I don't believe the weatherman. So glad. Or the almanac, although it's usually pretty accurate. But I have checked and rechecked and triple checked. It looks like Thursday of this week, things are going to turn around. We're going to have 60-degree weather. We're under a severe weather advisory again today. Story of my life. And it has just rained kitties and puppies and everything's muddy. There's no way I could plant anyway. I can't even harden off my seedlings right now because our lows have been in the 30s, highs in the 40s for the next today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So I have so many fun garden things I want to do, I need to do. I have a product review to do. We've got to finish setting up our outdoor kitchen. We have garden to plant. So there will be all that coming up. But right now, it's probably a good thing I can't do it because I have so much else to do right now. But it is coming. I'm also going to share with you that as I've looked at my seedlings, my garden size, I always want to maximize what I can grow in the space I have. But I've done an inventory like before we did No Spend January, and then I've kind of re-inventoried what I have. And I don't think I'm going to need to do as heavy of a preservation year as I've done in years past. I can do a lot of fresh eating, so that may change up how many seedlings I buy in addition to what either I've already planted that will grow from seed directly sown, or the maybe 35 seedlings that I have, because I don't need to can an additional 50, 60 pounds of tomatoes in addition to what I grow. I just don't need to do that. I have a lot, and I don't want it to go to waste. So what I am trying to do is we have May, June, and most of July before I will have harvest of much of anything. So I'm trying to use up anything because I reorganized. I had some things 2021 that got shuffled back and 2022 got put in front of it. So I've had to flip-flop those, and I'm trying to use some of that up. So today, since it's so cold, I am going to cook up a big batch of chili, throw it in the crock pot. It will be waiting on me when I get home. You know, guys, that's another really good suggestion. I've been doing a little bit of eating out just because everything's been so crazy. And so I've been eating gluten, and that has not helped me. just saying that. Because there's gluten in everything, it seems like. But I haven't had the time to really experiment with gluten-free recipes or to go to the store. And I've let some things spoil in the fridge, which made me feel kind of bad. But you know what? I'm not perfect. So having a book like a fix it and forget it type book, maybe even doing some one for now, one for later. Y'all, I don't think I've ever shouted out this channel. I mean, good Lord, she doesn't need me to shout her out. And she probably won't know who I am anyway. But Jamarelle Stewart, Living Your Best Mama Life, but it's just Jamarelle Stewart, or Jamarelle, I never say it right, Jamerrill. She is a mom of 9. She is about 20 years younger than me. And her youngest, I think, is 2, and her oldest is married, and she's a grandma. But she does, largefamilytable.com is her website. She has so many. Now, she cooks in a volume that I would never cook in because I'm not feeding 11 people like she is. But she has a lot of good recipes that you could have or quarter, one for now, one for later. So if you're going to make a pan of lasagna, why not make 2? Because you could freeze one. And she has so much knowledge about what is good to freeze, what is not. Lots of casseroles, a lot of breakfast bakes. She has a whole gluten-free. So I actually am not one for memberships, but I did join her largefamilytable.com as an empty nester yesterday, as a matter of fact, because I have found so much value in what she shares. So I will leave a link to her channel as well for you all. So I think that's all I have for today, y'all. I know it's not like an exciting video, but I hope, if you have a need in your life right now, I hope maybe something I said struck a chord or you'll find to be helpful. I've done a lot of things wrong through this journey. Woo, I've done more wrong than right, that's for sure. I've had a lot of feelings of inadequacy or guilt because that's just who I am, y'all. It doesn't mean that's the way it is. I can't think of a thing I should have done that I didn't do, except maybe have more energy, take better care of myself. Those are probably the things I feel the most guilty about. I give my energy to my mom, but at this point, y'all, she is well cared for. She has both assisted living staff caring for her, plus additional staff from hospice visiting regularly as she's going through this transition. So I was there yesterday. I'll be there today. I'll be there Wednesday. I'm going to take Tuesday off. I'm going to clean my house, maybe make a video for y'all. I haven't done a cleaning video in a long time, but I'm ashamed to show you the way some of the things look here. They're just dirty, guys. I just need to dust and sweep and shampoo a carpet and clean behind the bed, all the little things, right? So I hope to see you all on Thursday. If anything ever changes, guys, I try to post regularly in the community. I will definitely let you know that. I don't anticipate that it will, but like if I can't get the video done for Thursday and it's going to be on Friday, I'll let you know. Pardon me, guys. Now I'm getting hoarse. Talked too much this morning. So I thank you all so much for your time. If this has been helpful and you enjoyed the video, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know someone who's going down a difficult path in life and could use some encouragement, feel free to share my video. Just hit the share button down there in the description box, and it'll give you the options that you have set up on your device, whether you're going to email, text, etc. I would really appreciate you doing that. All right, y'all. I'll see you very soon. Until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed. Take care.